Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It is 6:37. Thanks for tuning in to O'Connor and Company on this busy Wednesday morning. Coming up at 7:05, Stuart Whitson running for Congress in the Virginia 11 special election. 7:35, former Capitol Police Chief Stephen Son give us his overview of the crime situation now after the exertion of federal influence from law enforcement agencies. And at 8:05, Nick Minnock, Channel 7 on the Virginia governor's race and the showdown between Northern Virginia school systems and the Department of Education. Larry O'Connor with Julie Gunlock. And Julie,
yes,
it's Cal Thomas.
My favorite time.
It is. Really, we look forward to this moment like you wouldn't believe. Cal, thanks for joining us. Cal?
Yes, hello.
We
had
were
a
too
little problem there with Russian hacking. Good morning, Wonder Woman and Superman of morning radio.
Hey, what did you make of Trump's, you talk about shuttle diplomacy. Well, everyone sort of came to Trump on the extreme west coast of our nation in Alaska, where, by the way, you can see Russia from your house. There was Vladimir Putin on Friday. And then on Monday in Washington, D.C., that extraordinary scene of European leaders coming to the White House to try to hammer out a peace deal. What's your assessment?
Well, two things. First of all, I thought the tableau of seeing all of those European leaders was something I hadn't seen in Washington since the funeral for John F. Kennedy in 1963. It projected unity, it projected strength, and it projected friendship, and I think that was all good. On the other hand, you have Vladimir Putin, who, if he was applying for a bank loan, given his terrible credit rating and breaking promises and violating treaties, would never be given $1. The man is a killer, a liar, a KGB agent. He kills children and kidnaps them. He attacks civilian buildings. He has just today, I guess, said that Zelensky is Trump's puppet. He has said he wants not only all of Ukraine, but the former Soviet satellite nations as well. I think we should take him at his word. It's going to be very difficult to cut any kind of a deal that preserves the security of Ukraine and keeps Putin from gobbling up some of these other countries.
Yeah, but what's the alternative at this point? I mean, is it better that they're at least talking and moving toward some sort of agreement?
Well, that's the issue at Munich in 1938, of course. Margaret Thatcher said something so profound. We in the West make a mistake when we transpose our morality on those who don't share it. The idea at Munich was, we'll just give Hitler the Sudetenland, a lot of German-speaking people there, just like there are a lot of Russian-speaking people in Ukraine, and then he won't want any more. Evil people don't behave like that. The alternative is what Trump initially said he was going to do. Sanctions on Russia, secondary sanctions on countries that buy Russian oil, and selling arms to NATO, which they can then carry to Ukraine to defend themselves. That's it's peace through strength. It's the old Ronald Reagan line. That's the way you do it. This guy is not going to settle for anything other than his goals that he set for himself and broadcast them openly.
Yeah. So first of all, I think Trump has demonstrated peace through strength, given the fact that this incursion happened under Biden, not during the time that Trump was president. First of all, he's hardly being Chamberlain here.
No. But the attitude is, it's not just him. It's this attitude that if we just give bad guys something they want, then we'll be able to have a certain peace. But there is no peace in these kinds of situations when you're dealing with evil people. It's the same in Gaza. It's the same all over the world. Now, I grant Trump tremendous credit for these wars that he's been settling, but this is the big one. And
I get it. I guess the only difference is with Hamas is a terrorist organization, and they're not sitting on the second largest nuclear arsenal on the planet.
Well, that's true, but I do think that Russia's economy is teetering, and I don't think Putin is going to take the West seriously until we start with these sanctions. I really don't. He can't be trusted. There's nothing in his background that shows he has been willing to live up to any agreement, any treaty. And then you're going to have, and Trump is right. It started with Biden saying, well, and you used the word, it's just a little incursion. Well,
yeah, a little incursion.
Little incursions become big invasions very quickly if they're not stopped. Now, what kind of signal did that send to Putin? It said, hey, they're not going to stop me. I'll just keep going.
Well, Cal, I know we have other issues, but I have just one follow-up question. What is the next step here? What do you think? I mean, do you think we will just see Putin, he is a liar. Do you think we will just see more attacks on Ukraine? The bombings, the drone attacks starting up again? What will happen next? What's your prediction?
Well, Julie, they haven't ended. They're still going on, and that's the thing. Before the 24-second rule in basketball, there was a thing called freezing the ball. If you were ahead by a couple of points, you kept holding on to the ball. Well, he's ahead by more than a couple of points, and he just it's rope-a-dope, to go back to Muhammad Ali's wonderful line. They're just playing us. They want to set up this meeting. Trump wants to set up a bilateral meeting between Putin and Zelensky. Okay, well, what are they going to talk about? Putin's going to say, I want more territory. Zelensky's going to say, well, you're not going to have it. We're a sovereign nation. And Putin's going to say, well, we don't believe that Ukraine is a sovereign nation. It's been part of Russia before we want it back. Well, he could say the same thing about Alaska, couldn't he? So I just think this is rope-a-dope, and he is not going to respond to anything. He's a dictator until we put the screws to him economically.
Alluding to Muhammad Ali's rope-a-dope, and I don't know if the kids caught it, but Dean Smith's four corners offense in the heyday of 70s college basketball, playing keep away.
We try to do every analogy here on the show.
Thank you, Calvin. Good to talk with you as
guys.
always.
Thanks,
It's
Cal.
6:43.